regular polygons is very important. You're going to have about 4 to 5 problems, I think 4. Basically, you're going to have 25 is a test like 1 with the hexagon, so know everything you know about a hexagon. You're going to have to know the facts that whatever the side is equal to the radius. The apothem always bisects the side, doesn't matter what type of regular polygon you have. So this is 6. So the apothem, you have a 30, 60, 90. The apothem will be the long leg. So the apothem here would be 6 root 3. Okay? All right, so this formula, I think it's this way on the formula chart, which it means the same thing, 1/2 apothem times the perimeter. You'd be expected to get the apothem. It's not going to be given to you. So 6 root 3, perimeter, be able to calculate that. That's just 6 times 12, because there's 6 sides. Each side is 12. That's 72, and we're going to take half of that. When you finalize, radicals should be in your answer. I am going to ask for exact answers, meaning leave the answer, the radical in your answer. So this was 216 square root of 3 centimeters squared. So 25, definitely test like. 26, definitely test like. It is going to be a pentagon. You are going to have to use trig. You are going to be expected to know these steps and memorize them. Always find the central angle first, which is 360 divided by n. 360 divided by n, our number size is 5, which is 72. To get to the vertex angle, you basically take half of that, okay? So it's always half the central angle. So half of 72 is 36. And from here, you're going to have to use trig to find the missing a or s. We already know the side is 16. The apothem always bisects that side. So this makes this 8 and 8. And now to get to my apothem, I can do opposite over adjacent. We're using tangent. Now, I kind of ran out of room because I wrote the steps here. So tangent of 36, scroll this up a little bit, is equal to the opposite, which is 8 over a. When the variable is on the bottom, we just switch these two. So a equals 8 divided by the tangent of 36. You're going to have to put that in the calculator. Remember, if you get any crazy negative answers, the mode might be wrong. So just raise your hand, and I will check it for you. I'll fix it. So when you do this, we get that the a, the apothem, is approximately 11. I think it's 11.0. I think, yeah, 11. So now that we have the apothem, we can find the perimeter because we know the sides. So we have 5 sides that are 16. So I know that my perimeter is going to end up being 80. All right, so to get the area, take my 11, apothem times my perimeter, divide by 2. And we got 440 meters squared. So you're definitely going to see a pentagon where I change the side, basically just draw a new problem. Add a different number for the side, see if you can get to the answer, all right? The next one that is going to be test-like as well is dealing with an equilateral triangle when I'm giving you the apothem equals 12. So if this is 12, that short leg is 12. The hypotenuse, which is now our radius, is 24. And here, this becomes a long leg. This is a short leg. So this is really 12 root 3 and 12 root 3. So the whole side is 24 root 3. We can add those because they both have square root of 3. They're like terms. So we're going to do our perimeter. The perimeter would just be, there's 3 sides that are 24 root 3. And that comes out to be 72 root 3. And we already know our apothem is 12. So now we can do A is A times P divided by 2, which is 12 times my 72 root 3 divided by 2. And that ends up coming to be 432 root 3 units squared. Okay? Keep your radicals in your answer. 28 is also definitely, I'm definitely going to basically give you a square. I'm going to give you the radius. You're going to have to give me the area. Okay? You got to know that a square gets broken down to 45, 45, 90. I'm going to show you 2 ways to get this answer. If I want to use the apothem, since I know that's 4 root 2, this is leg radical 2. Well, that's 4 root 2, so that means this is 4 and 4. So the apothem is 4. Both the apothem breaks the side, so that gives me the side is 8. So the perimeter is basically just 4 times 8, so you get 32. Okay? Now, guys, this is what I'm saying. We can work smart. we can use work over work, which is a times p divided by 2. But if we work smart, we know this is square. Every square is just squares, the side square, or length times width, which is 8 times 8. So we get 64. We're done. I'd rather do this. Okay? 64 centimeters squared. We're done. Don't worry about the formula. If you can find the area using a different formula to that shape, and you have the parts of that shape, make sure you have the parts. Like we have the side, we have the length, we have the width. You have the parts of that shape, then yeah, you can plug in those parts. But if you don't have the parts, then you have to calculate them. Maybe use the other formula. All right, 29. All these regular polygons we're going to put together. If you don't have a picture, draw it. So I said here, the length of the side is 16. There's some facts that I need you to know. What else should you know? The side is 16. Exactomendo, that's wrong, but the radius is 16. Then the side gets broken into parts, 2 equal parts, 8 and 8. The bottom is 8 root 3. Okay, so now we're just plugging it in. We have the perimeter up here was 96, so we take 8 root 3 times the 96 divided by 2. This is the radical answer. You're going to have a radical answer on your test. This was 384 square root of 3 feet squared. All right. The equilateral triangle whose perimeter is 18. Equilateral triangle means all the sides are congruent. That means all the angles are congruent. All right. So if all the sides, if the perimeter is 18, then if I divide by 3, that gives me each side. Each side would be 6. Now, I want the area. Well, you could do the area of a triangle. That's just base times height divided by 2. You have the base, which is 6. But what you need to do is draw your height. And understand that when an equilateral triangle happens, we now have a 30, 60, 90. This base gets cut in half, so that's 3. And that means that our height would have to be 3 radical 3. So I would use this formula instead of doing a bottom times perimeter. So basically, our base is 6. Our height is 3 root 3. So we're doing 6 times 3 root 3 divided by 2. And yes, we get 9 root 3 centimeters squared. All right, so the octagon, let's do that together. 30 was just like. Octagon is a good practice with the trig. So you can draw your 8-sided figure. It doesn't have to be exact, but I understand the length of each side is 6. This is horrible, but this is my bottom, so that becomes 3 and 3. That's my radius. First thing I need to do is find that angle. So by doing my 360 divided by 8, that gives me 45. Then to get the vertex angle, you got to take that and cut it in half. 45 divided by 2 is 22.5. So basically, my drawing is horrible, but I'm going to point an arrow to that angle, and that's going to be where my 22.5 is. So I have the opposite, which is my 3. I need the adjacent. I can do opposite and adjacent to find that apart them using tangent. So I'm going to do tangent of my vertex angle, which is 22.5, is equal to the opposite over adjacent, which is the A. A is on the bottom again, which is what we did on number 26. So we just switch these here. 3 divided by the tangent of 22.5. You have to put that in the calculator. And you get approximate answer, decimal answer. And A is going to be approximately 7.2. So now I can find the perimeter of my octagon because I have 8 sides and they're 6 inches each. So we have 48 inches. So to get to my area, take my bottom times by my perimeter divided by 2. My bottom was the 7.2 that I round to the nearest tenth. Perimeter was the 48. So we're doing 7.2 times 48 divided by 2. It's approximately 172.8 inches squared. Okay? If I ask you to use trig, you will have to round to the nearest tenth. Alright, another regular polygon. Here's the pentagon, which is the shape you're going to see on your test. This one I had to use trig twice because it gave you the radius. And so to get to the bottom, we are now going to have to do adjacent over hypotenuse. Okay? And so because we did pentagon before, we know the vertex angle is 36, and we did that already. So adjacent over hypotenuse would be a over 3. Cosine of 36 is a over 3. Now when the variable's on top, remember we have to multiply. So this is 3 times the cosine of 36. So this end up being approximately 2.4. And to find the x, I need that x so I can get to my side, because this would also be x, and together it represents the side. And that's what I need to get to the perimeter. So for x, I'm going to do opposite over hypotenuse, which is sine. Sine of 36 is x over 3. X again is on the top. Variables on top means we multiply. 3 times the sine of 36 is 1.8. Now, to get to my side, the side is going to be double that. So it's 2 times the 1.8. So the side, sorry, I'm running out of room, is approximately, what is that, 3.6? Is that right? And then what we're going to do, I need to write that on there, sorry. So 3.6 here. And to do our perimeter, we're going to take the 5 sides times 3.6. And we get we get 18. All right, so the apothem we know is the 2.4 times the 18 divided by 2 will give us our area. That's approximately, I'm going to put it up here, 21.6 centimeters squared. All right. So on 33, which 32 is test-like, 33 is test-like. Now we're dealing with the hexagon again. It says the regular hexagon has an area of 150 square root of 3 feet squared. The apothem of 5 square root of 3. What is the length of each side? And the radius. Side and radius. Remember, they have a special relationship. Only with the hexagon. So if I draw my hexagon, and I know that the apothem is 5 root 3. And we should know that this becomes a 30, 60, 90. This is my long leg. My short leg would have to be 5. This ends up being 5, which means my hypotenuse would be 10, because you double that, which means my side would be 10. So the side and the radius are always the same. When having a hexagon, they're both 10. Yeah, all right, you got the point. All right, the next section, the next video is dealing with problem solving, especially with area and scale factor, and then that's it, you guys. So just fast forward to the next video when you're ready.